U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24 is brought to you by U.S. Cellular, in the middle of anywhere. Northwest Surgery Center, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Menards, and by the Big 920. Additional support has been provided by the U.S. Army, Goodwill, Salvation Army, Sweetwater, Gruber Law Offices, and Bryant and Stratton College Athletics.
Gene Schneider Field, where we're set to bring you football tonight from Milwaukee's southwest side. It's the Racine Lutheran Crusaders taking on the Greendale Martin Lutheran Spartans. John Weiser and Terry Kelly up in the booth with you. I have Mike McGivern and Kara down on the field during our ball game tonight. An outstanding night for football. Another cool evening here in southeast Wisconsin.
Hasn't felt like August and early September the past few days, but I'm sure we're going to have an excellent game.
Our United States Army Color Guard will present our flag here at the center of the field, and we'll be set with our national anthem tonight from Greendale Martin Luther High School.
Now, reporting the national meeting standing, direct your attention to this field. As we welcome the members of the United States Army who are joining us for tonight's
Metro Classic Conference action tonight here on our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. And as the team's huddling up here, let's get to the keys to the ballgame tonight, Terry.
Well, first of all, for Racine Lutheran, Coach Smith prides his team on their physicality, and he feels they have to be physical in order to make their attack go and to stifle what it is Martin Luther likes to do. Their Jet Series, sweep series, they've got an ISO that runs off that, quarterback reads an option, as well as the jet sweep. That has to go, and they can't suffer a letdown after their big win against Racine Park last week.
Talked to Rick Hopert, I should say, their head coach this week, and these were the first three things that came out of his mouth when we visited with him.
Yeah, he talked about his offensive line has to control that line of scrimmage. Racine Lutheran has some large players out there, and they think that they've got to make sure that goes. The passing game has to emerge this week. Their quarterback, Nick Mueller, missed his first game with an injury. Didn't really get on track last week, and they have to free up their running attack. And then he said the running backs for Racine Lutheran are so good, if they don't tackle well, they're going to really struggle tonight.
Racine Lutheran won the coin toss. They have deferred to the second half, so Greendale Martin Luther will receive the football tonight to get things going. Kicking off for Racine Lutheran. So we get a look at our officials tonight. Mike Trad, our referee. It looks like it's not going to be David Voss is scheduled to be the kicker. And back deep to receive for the Spartans tonight will be Bryce Kalinsky. So Brad and Bryce, the twins, actually going to be back there to receive this kick tonight.
A little change up there. Coaches talked about for the first 2 years here, they had a tough time telling them apart.
A low ground ball that'll be picked up and smothered right there at the 40, we'll make it the 39-yard line. David Bell able to come up with it, so we'll get our first look here at the offense for Martin Luther. Nick Mueller at quarterback will run the helm, and then, of course, keeping an eye on that running back, Darius Crawley-Reed.
Yeah, real speedster. So far this year, he's got 44 rushes, 180 yards.
Rushed for only 46 yards and a touchdown last week against University School. First offensive set, just shy of the 40-yard line. Brad Kalinsky in motion, out of the shotgun, Mueller. Rolling right, going to dump it out. Has a man open here on the near side. Jake Blasey makes the catch. And Blasey out of bounds just across the 45. They'll mark him out near the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Coach Hopper talked about how to get that passing game going. Blasey has their only touchdown reception this year, so they opened up with that pass.
6'1", 176-pound senior. As we set the offense for you, we talked about Mueller and for Darius Crawley-Reed, but that offensive line needs to get something going. Darius Crawley-Reed will get the ball. First down and more down the near sideline inside the 40. Still on his feet. Pushed out of bounds near the 25-yard line. First touch tonight for Darius Crawley-Reed, and it's a good one. Picks up our Gruber Law Office's first down.
Yeah, Darius was sixth in the state last year in the 100 D3 at the state track meet. You can see him put that speed to good use.
Set the edge nicely. That offensive line got out there nicely. Opened up that seam along the sideline. So again, a reminder that you can U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. And don't forget, tonight's game will be rebroadcast Sunday night at 7 right here on My24. Nothing going on 1st and 10. Stacked up Darius Crawley-Reed that time. They'll give him a gain of 1. Ball just shy of the 25-yard line of Racine Lutheran. Opening possession here for the Spartans. And they'll spread him out. Single back is Darius Crawley-Reed. They'll pass. Mueller going over the middle. Caught inside the 10. Takes it to the goal line. Touchdown, Greendale Martin Luther. Nice reception by Luke Howard, the senior wide receiver. 26-yard touchdown pass, and that aerial offense off to a good start.
Yeah, it was a rather uncharacteristic performance last week for Nick Mueller. He was only 4 completions the whole game, but he was probably still battling back from that injury that forced him out of the Whitnall game, and his pass has been right on so far this evening.
Touchdown grab for Howard. The try for the extra point. It is blocked. So it's a 6-0 lead here for Greendale Martin Luther. Taking the opening possession, 26-yard touchdown pass from Mueller to Luke Howard as we take one more look.
Yeah, right on the mark. Howard has good speed, excellent baseball player, and he certainly caught that well.
Again, the play action on that one, the two inside linebackers, Houston and Moore, kind of took 2 steps up. That freed that little alley behind the linebackers and in front of the safety, Cozy, and the cornerback on the near side, Josh Hess.
I'm sure their coaches will be talking to those linebackers. You got to read the hat of that offensive lineman. If the head comes up, drop back. Don't go for that initial fake.
Let's head down to the sideline, our first visit tonight with Kara.
Thank you very much. I have the head women's soccer coach of Bryant Stratton College down here with me, Lucas Henderson. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the program? You guys are getting ready for the 2018 season?
Yeah, we're actually not playing this year, but we're recruiting for the 2018 class. We are competing in the Division I of junior college level, and that means we can offer athletic scholarships. It's a great school to go to, especially if you're just going for a couple of years. And essentially what we're trying to do is create a really strong winning program over the course of the next couple of years.
And if anybody's interested in playing soccer for Bryant and Stratton, where can they head?
So they can go to our website, our athletics website, and if they go there, there is a place for a directory where you can contact me directly. I'm the Lucas Henderson, head women's soccer coach. Just go right there.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much, and back to you guys.
For Racine Lutheran, Nathan Sawicki on special teams there. Front part of that wedge, so not even going to mess around with either Thomas Moore or Tyler Tenner back there.
Well, both kickoffs have been a little short, and it looked like, Racine Lutherans was intentional that first kickoff, and that might have wound up backfiring in terms of some strategy.
Our first look at Racine Lutheran offensively tonight. They'll start from their own 35-yard line. Josh Hess, junior quarterback, 6'3", 197, honorable mention, all-conference a season ago at wide receiver. And he wants to throw. He'll dump it out, completes to the far side, Tenner. Tenner in some space will get 10 yards and a first down. A little swing pass to the running back, Tyler Tenner, the 5'6" junior. Stop man on the play by Brad Kalinsky, the junior linebacker. Crusader offense, we talked about Hess, we talked about Tyler Tenner, but really the guys up front have to do the job tonight for Racine Lutheran, particularly the 2 tackles we featured.
Right. Coach Smith says that's the key to their success this evening.
1st and 10 from the 45. Fake the handoff. Hess will keep it up the middle of the line, nowhere to go. Stacked up immediately at the line of scrimmage. Running right into Petey Campbell and Luke Howard, both there to make the stop.
Yeah, Petey was one of the guys we featured as players to watch. Missed almost all of last year after suffering a knee injury. Key to their success at defensive end.
Call it a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Ball at the 46-yard line of the Crusaders. Hess will hand it off. Tenner trying to get the edge, and he's met in the backfield. Good play right off the get-go there on the defensive side for Greendale Martin Luther. Bryce Kalinsky, the twin brother of Brad Kalinsky, there to make the stop.
Yeah, both of the Kalinsky brothers were honorable mention all-conference last year as sophomores, and so Brad's at the inside linebacker and playing safety is Bryce.
Let's head down to the sideline, our first visit with Mike McGivern.
Guys, listen, the coaches at Martin Luther feeling a little bit better about the offensive line. Couple of plays. See, last week we weren't all on the same page. Feeling much better about this one.
All right, thank you very much. Rolling out is Hess on 3rd down, going to dump it out and completes the pass. No, out of bounds. Incomplete, the ruling by the official. Elijah Solis was the intended target out there. He was open, but could not come down with the ball inbounds. Darius Crowley-Reed out there in coverage for the Spartans.
Yeah, so far this year, Racine Lutheran has not made its yardage off the pass. They've been a running team, but both teams trying to change their MO a little bit tonight.
Josh Hess, who doubles up as the punter, will kick this one away. Crowley-Reed standing deep for the Spartans. Good kick here. Reed will let it bounce through his fingertips, comes up with it across the 20, and trying to keep his feet, and finally met just across the 20-yard line. Good job by Crowley-Reed that time. Good coverage by the Crusaders. Bruce Cozy, I should say, getting in there to make the stop. Second possession here for Racine Lutheran. Just over 9 minutes to go here in for the Spartans, I should say. 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and they lead by a score of 6-0. 26-yard pass play. Touchdown throw to Luke Howard. Nick Mueller will get them lined up as Crowley Reed in the backfield to his left. Gives it to Crowley Reed, trying to get the edge here on the right side. And get a couple out of it before he is driven back. Key on that play, Bruce Cozy stepping up in the hole that time. The safety able to meet him up, and Thomas Moore able to finish it off. Here's the defense for Racine Lutheran. And Dakota Dexter key there. He goes both ways on offense and defense.
Thomas Moore last year was a unanimous all-conference selection at that inside linebacker position. He was in on 79 tackles last year.
Gain of almost 5 on the play for Crowley Reed. High snap. Busted play here. Mueller on the run left. Has a block. He'll keep it. He'll cut it upfield. Got it across the line of scrimmage, out across the 25, maybe the 27-yard line. Kind of a busted play that time. The high snap coming back from Colin Deneen, the senior center.
That really destroyed their timing on that. You can see that Darius Crowley Reed was waiting to get that handoff.
I'll tell you what, heads-up play by Luke Howard out there. He turned around, saw it was a busted play. He came back upfield, signaled to his quarterback, hey, I'm out here. I'll run a little interference for you as you get a look at Rick Huppert, the head football coach here at Greendale Martin Luther. Crowley Reed on third down and short. Breaks out of a tackle, gets the edge, first down and more. Out across the 40-yard line to the 41 for the first down. Gain of 14 on the play for Darius Crowley Reed. Brought down by Josh Hess on the near sideline, but another Gruber Law Offices first down. Our first downs in this first quarter brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
If you don't get that outside pressure and turn him back inside, he's going to get free along that sideline, and with his speed, he'll be gone. So we're going to have to see Racine Luther make some adjustments here. They initially had the play stuffed up, but Crowley Reed is so elusive, you're not going to just bottle him up easily.
Short of the 42-yard line, 1st and 10 Spartans. This time on the carry, it'll be Bryce Kalinsky. Spelling Crowley Reed there in the backfield. Austin Honore there, the senior, 6'2", 165, making the stop for the Crusaders. Honorable mention all conference. He was in on 74 tackles a year ago. Second down and 8. Mueller wants to go over the middle and completes the pass. Nice catch over the middle. Jake Blasey, the 6'1", 176-pound senior, able to snare that one. Gain across midfield into Crusader territory. They'll mark him down at the Racine Lutheran 43-yard line.
Yeah, you can see that Mueller tonight really is in a rhythm, and that certainly is going to open up their passing game. The other thing they're trying to do is they're running that spread formation, and they're getting trips out or 2x2 on the outside. Creates more seams for your running back to get through as well when you start to move all those DBs to the outside.
Colton Kraus credited with the tackle, but enough for a first down here for the Spartans at the Racine Lutheran 43-yard line. Crowley Reed follows his blockers around the left side. Gets it inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line. Pickup of about 9 for Darius Crowley Reed.
That's one of those things I'm sure in the Crawley home they're going to like to show that picture because number 52, Nate Crawley, was leading the way. See him come around that corner. Actually, Darius might get on him for missing that block at the end.
Bruce Cozy there to make the stop for Racine Lutheran. 9-yard pickup, second down and 1 for the Spartans. Crowley Reed gets the call again. Spins out of one tackle. Will pick up the first down. Austin Honori there again for the stop. And they're going to mark him just a little shy of the first down. I thought swung him across the line to gain, but it'll bring up 3rd and short here for Greendale Martin Luther. Already up by a score of 6-0. 26-yard touchdown pass from Mueller to Luke Howard. 2-by-2 here. Double slot. Single back is Crawley Reed. It'll be the quarterback, Mueller. First down and more. Gets the edge. Mueller inside the 20 and run out of bounds near the 15-yard line. On the angle was Bruce Cozy, the safety, ushered him to the sideline, but Mueller on the fake to Crawley Reed picks up the first down.
And that's the key point. You have to honor Crawley Reed. And as soon as they flow his way, Nick's going to tuck that ball, turn upfield.
They'll mark him officially at the 15-yard line. Gain of 20 on the play. There is Crawley Reed. Bounces it to the outside. Crawley Reed still on his feet. Angles to the goal line. Touchdown, Greendale Martin Luther. Darius Crawley Reed not to be denied. Little hip swivel there, a little shoulder dip, and he's in the end zone for 6.
You see him dip in, cut out. Very deceptive runner. But he also has that power. When you make that initial contact, he'll run through that tackle.
15-yard touchdown run for Darius Crawley Reed. Extra point upcoming. The first extra point attempt was blocked. Good snap. Ball's down. This time the kick away, and it is good. 13-0. Martin Luther on top of Racine Lutheran. As we'll step aside. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center in Greendale tonight. Martin Luther High School. Well, 2 possessions, 2 scores for Greendale Martin Luther, and they lead it by a score of 13-0.
Coach Hoppert has to be pleased with what he's seen from his offense so far tonight. They've been rather dormant their first 2 games, and the combination of Nick Mueller's passing and Darius Crawley Reed's running has really worked well for him.
Again, Tenor and Moore standing deep. We'll see if they kick to them. They elect not to, and the kick will angle out of bounds. So penalty here on the kickoff going out of bounds. Racine Lutheran will get good field position out of this. Well, while Mike is king of the hill at work, he's the odd man out in a home that is dominated by women. Don't miss Tim Allen in Last Man Standing. That's weeknights at 6 and again at 6:30 here on My 24. Interesting call here. Coach Smith electing to make them re-kick. If they're going to kick it short, I suppose.
We'll see. He gave up pretty good field position for that one, but maybe he has scouted so well and he knows that we're not going to get it at the deep kickoff.
Result of the flag. Racine Lutheran has opted for a free kick, 5-yard penalty.
This time on the run-up, Thomas Moore near sideline across the 40. Breaks the tackle to the 45 and wrestled down just shy of midfield.
Well, about 12-yard positive gain from having him re-kick, so Coach Smith has to be pleased with his choice.
About a 20-yard return. Ben Dreyer, the junior, on special teams, able to come up and make the stop. We get one more look.
Moore showing a little shiftiness there himself.
Crusaders start their next drive, 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard.
So from midfield, Racine Lutheran will get their second opportunity. Josh Hess at quarterback. He'll send Tenor in motion. He'll take it on the jet sweep around the near side. Tenor will pick up 10 quick ones and a first down.
And there's that jet sweep series we talked about at the key to the game portion of the show. This is a critical possession for Racine Lutheran. They might have had a little of that hangover effect from the victory of Racine Park, and they've got to get into their rhythm now.
So a 10-yard pickup and a Gruber Law Office's first down. They'll fake the jet. Hess will keep it coming around the far side. Hess met at the line of scrimmage, steps out of the tackle, and will pick up the first down inside the 30-yard line. Gain of 11 on the play for Josh Hess, the junior quarterback.
You can see one of the advantages of being able to run a series of plays that are complementary to one another. It makes it more difficult for the defense to get their reads, and it also sets up your passing game as well if they're watching all the motion, so forth.
St. Lutheran going hurry up here on first down. Tenor in motion to the near side. They'll toss it. Thomas Moore. Moore with the carry. Moore inside the 20, taking tacklers inside the 15 and moving the pile down to the 12-yard line. Thomas Moore, a 5'6 senior, getting the toss that time for Racine Lutheran. Bobby Lee there to make the stop.
One of the things you want to point out for both of these teams have 7 and 8 guys going both ways. Smaller school, you don't quite have those numbers to look at platooning. Coach Smith in the pregame mentioned how he'd love to have it that way, but going to get the ball marched back here on a penalty.
Late flag at the end of that play. Mike Tradd is our referee tonight. Illegal shift the call. So a 5-yard penalty here, and Greendale Martin Luther is going to take a timeout. Let's head down to the sideline once again and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, talking to the coaches on the defensive side of Martin Luther, they said, look, if we're playing well, you're going to see us swarm to the ball. You won't see one guy make an attack. You see 3 or 4, and if we're playing together the way I think we can play, that's how we do it on the defensive end. So make sure you pay attention. One tackler or 3 or 4. If there's 3 or 4 on the Martin Luther side, they're feeling pretty good about it.
Mike, good job. Thank you very much. Coming up later tonight, we will highlight an important point in the game as our watershed moment. The feature is being brought to you by Sweetwater, Southeast Wisconsin Watersheds Trust. Luke Howard, the injury here. Some sort of a stinger, perhaps.
Once again, because of what we mentioned, that affects them on both sides of the ball. Luke Howard also an important part of their offense.
So again, the 5-yard walk-off for the illegal shift negates that nice run by Thomas Moore. So bring up 1st and 15 for the Crusaders. From the Spartan 33-yard line. Hess will keep. Trying to get to the outside, breaks a tackle. Near sideline. Brought down, couple-yard pickup, maybe 5 on the play. Back to the original line of scrimmage. There to make the stop, Bryce Kolinsky, strong safety.
As you mentioned, last year, Josh Hess was a honorable mention all-conference player, both as a wide receiver and as a defensive back. They've shifted into quarterback this year.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 11. They fake the jet sweep. They'll swing it out the opposite side to Tenor with the catch. Tenor inside the 20. Close to a first down. And they will mark it as an official first down. We got a player slow to get up for Racine Lutheran.
I think it's Tenor, and it looked like he might have fallen right on the ball. I don't know if we had a replay on that.
Nice fake on the jet series there to swing it out to Tenor. Yeah, and it looked like he fell on top of the football. P.D. Campbell there to make the tackle.
P.D. out there being a good sport, trying to help him to his feet as well.
Well, stay tuned. At the end of the game, we will highlight our player of the game, brought to you by the United States Army, Army Strong. Good sign there. Tenor up and walking back to the sideline. And Martin Luther scoring on their first 2 possessions tonight to take a 13-0 lead. Racine Lutheran, their deepest penetration here. Hand it off. Coming around on the jet sweep here is Bruce Cozy. Take it down inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark him at the 9. Bryce Kalinsky again in on the stop for the Spartans. We get one more look. Again, the offensive line getting downfield, and not sure I want that ball in that right hand coming to the near sideline, Coach.
Right.
I may have learned a few things.
Coaching point.
Tenner back in, another penalty marker down as Tenner will take it into the end zone, but multiple flags on this play. We might have the same penalty here, illegal shift here, somebody turning upfield.
Illegal shift or a false start, one of the two. There was some movement.
Illegal shift, once again, charged to Racine Lutheran.
Officials call illegal shift. Penalty goes against the Crusaders. The touchdown is negated.
So it takes 6 points off the board. And the second time that penalty's been called on this drive in this red zone here for Racine Lutheran.
Yeah, Racine had a call off their practice on Monday because of storms in the area. And when you've got the short week, sometimes your timing can be thrown off.
Thomas Moore in the backfield here with Hess at quarterback. And Hess wants to throw. Looking left all the way, now being chased by Petey Campbell and got it away. Incomplete, and just in the nick of time as Campbell had his bare paws ready to clamp down on the quarterback. It's it down to the sideline once again, and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, number 23, Luke Howard, having some issues with his neck. Big part of this Martin Luther team, both offensively and defensively. They're looking at him right now. Seems to have a neck problem.
Mike, thank you. Big third down here. So you get a look at our touchdown receiver, Luke Howard. Suffered that injury. Big third down here. 3rd and 7 for Racine Lutheran. Hess on the roll. Stepping up, and he's going to be met by Petey Campbell and thrown to the turf back at the 19-yard line. 6'4", 215 pound, and Hess took a pretty good blow there and landed on that right shoulder.
Notice Petey fight off the blocker, close that play.
Took Hess down hard that time and jammed that shoulder into the turf. And missed most of last season. Trying to make up for it here tonight. Racine Lutheran will go for it here on 4th and 9. From the Spartans' 16-yard line. They'll run the reverse here back to Tenner. Tenner cuts it back up the middle. And Tenner very close to a first down, should have it.
Little trickeration there that time.
And will be enough for a Gruber Law Office's first down, 1st and goal for Racine Lutheran. So they go with the reverse. Good to see Tenner back in there. Missed a play on this drive. He is in the backfield behind the quarterback, Hess. He will get the call. Tenner met behind the line and driven down back at the 6-yard line, may have lost a yard. Brad Kalinsky in there again defensively for the Spartans.
Yeah, he was one of the defensive players we featured and spotlighted for Martin Luther. He and his brother Bryce, very, very effective combination at linebacker and strong safety.
Nice job there going low on Tenner. 2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. Clock rolling, approaching 2:15 left here in quarter number 1. They'll toss to Tenner. Tenner with some room. Tenner to the goal line. Touchdown, Racine Lutheran. Tyler Tenner, his 10th touchdown.
I played quite a bit last year as a freshman. As a sophomore, is off to an excellent start this year. I don't know if we'll get the replay. Number 72, Dakota Dexter gets out there and he's going to get a little decleater. You're going to not quite see the whole thing. Takes the guy down, leads
That
the
was
way.
Kolinsky. That's Kolinsky. He took Brad Kolinsky down on that one.
Got to meet Mr. Dexter, 6'3", 253 pounds.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. Racine Lutheran on the board. Took advantage of the penalty on the kickoff, got the short field, went 51 yards, overcame 2 penalties on that drive, and it was Tenner from 6 yards out with his 10th touchdown of the season. That's his 5th score in the last 2 weeks. One more look.
Yeah, we'll get another chance to see Dakota's block out here. And our kicker, we've solved the mystery. David Voss, number 35, was supposed to be the kicker. He's wearing number 60 tonight, so he has been kicking.
Just want to be clear. Well, stay tuned. At the end of the game, we will highlight our play of the game. That is brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work.
Perhaps Coach Smith didn't do the laundry this week, and so the jersey was not ready, so we'll see.
He does a lot of things for Racine Lutheran. Not only that, but Racine Youth Sports. He coaches in that league as well.
He goes from his high school practice to the youth league practice every night.
He's very dedicated to the sport of football and working with the youngsters in Racine. Voss will kick. This will be a line drive kick that will be taken by Kolinsky. Circles back, crosses zone 25, gets to the near sideline, and is buried just shy of the 40-yard line. Looked like it was Colton and Jalen Houston.
18-yard return on that kickoff return. Number 11, Brad Kolinsky.
Colton Kraus.
Colton Kraus. He also had a flag on the play as well.
2 minutes left to go in the opening quarter.
Do you have a flag? No, I guess not.
Start their next drive. 1st and 10 at their own.
You get to be my age, Terry, you start seeing things too. So
Well,
might have been a glove that was on the field. Racine Lutheran's wearing yellow gloves tonight, so I think that's what was laying on the field here on the near sideline. 1st and 10 for Martin Luther at their own 33. Darius Crawley-Reed. Penalty markers rain down as he is pulled down just across the 35-yard line. Gain of about 2.
both of these teams play a variation of the 4-2-5 defense. And so it's really incumbent on your defensive ends to set that outside edge so they have to turn up inside so your two inside linebackers can flow. And we mentioned how Coach Smith was counting on Thomas Moore and Jalen Houston to really flow to the ball.
Business picking up for Mike Tradd, our referee tonight. Fourth penalty of the ball game here in this first quarter. Minute 54 remaining. You get a look at Coach Smith for Racine Lutheran. So 1st and 15 for the Spartans. From their own 28. Kolinsky in motion, will line up as a wing on the left side. Mueller rolling left, going to throw left, completes the pass. Far side out there, Jake Blasey with the catch. It's about 10 of those yards back on that one play. James Wilson, the junior corner on that far side. A couple of interceptions in week 1 against Milwaukee Reagan to open up the season. It's a big gain of 11, 2nd down and 4 for the Spartans. Crawley-Reed probing the left side. Still on his feet, dives forward, close to a first down.
Racine Lutheran comes up. They think they've got him just hemmed in, and he just has that subtle little move, and he's able to dance one way or the other and then quickly accelerate.
Well, at 5'8", 185, a little bit shorter, more of a fire plug kind of runner there, and you kind of lose sight of him, and he gets low, that low center of gravity, tough to bring down.
And he's also, once again, starting on defense, and Coach Hoppert said he could have easily featured him as one of the defensive players to watch because, as we saw in practice, he's kind of directing the show back there.
This could be the final play here of our first quarter. 3rd and less than a yard. And Mueller will hand it off. Crowley Reed, and he's going to be met in the backfield and stopped for a loss. And that's how we'll end our first quarter. Jalen Houston able to come up with a big play. It'll be 4th down. Decision time here for Greendale Martin Luther when we return. The Spartans leading the Crusaders 13-7. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. Second quarter starts with a 4th down play here for the Spartans. Normally Luke Howard is their punter, but because of that injury earlier, it's going to be Darius Crowley-Reed back there. And he will kick it away, an end-over-end kick. Out of bounds here in the Spartans sideline. Let's see where they mark it out. It'll be just across midfield, so not a very deep kick by the Spartans. Racine Lutheran's going to come away with very good field position here.
Yeah, Howard apparently suffered an injury in the first game of the season. Player was called for a face mask penalty. Was able to come back and play last week, and apparently must have aggravated that injury.
So the short punt will leave Racine Lutheran with good field position here, their own 47-yard line. Josh Hess, the junior quarterback, wants to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, it's thrown low, incomplete, in traffic as well, intended for Austin Honori, the flanker, 6'2", 165.
This is kind of a turnaround for Hess. Last year he had 5 touchdown receptions, and now he's got to be the one throwing that pass. And he's demonstrated he's a very fine runner. Now we have to see if he can get that passing attack going.
2nd and 10 for the Crusaders. Now they got a whistle here on the near side. We got another timeout taken here by the Spartans, their 2nd of the half.
Yeah, it looked like Dax Rodriguez, the defensive coordinator, spotted someone not in proper alignment and called the immediate timeout.
Well, as part of the Doing the Most Good campaign, the Salvation Army would like to recognize Majors Quinton and Mary Boyle. Major Quinton Boyle manages the Salvation Army Distribution Center, and Major Mary Boyle manages all of Salvation Army's seasonal programs. 2 great examples of the Salvation Army's mission of doing the most good.
One of the things that we heard Mike mention in the pregame show was the role reversal that's gone on here with Dax Rodriguez and Rick Hoppert. Hoppert had been his assistant coach at West Allis Central, and now they've got different positions here, so they feel real comfortable working with each other.
2nd and 10 following the timeout. Spartans have only 1 timeout remaining here in the half. They will send Cozy in motion. He'll get the ball in the jet sweep to the far side. Has some blockers in front, but good play out there defensively. Brad Kolinsky coming out to make the play. As we head back to the sideline, and Kara. All right, 3rd down. So 3rd down here and long for Racine Lutheran. We'll get back to that interview here in just a second. Hess rolling right, going to throw deep, has a man out there, and it is dropped, incomplete. Would have been a heck of a catch by Bruce Cozy, the split end, with a defender draped on his back. The guy back there was Darius Crowley-Reed, working both sides.
And he had to make up a heck of a lot of ground because the receiver had really broken free, and Darius goes streaming across. He was able to wrap his arms around and get a little strip.
Play is stopped here for an injury. Let's head to the sideline and Kara.
Boyle with the Salvation Salvation Army down here with me. Now, you guys are always doing good in the community, especially through the Feed the Kids program.
Yes, we just ended our Feeds the Kids program, and we did about 64,000 meals to the Milwaukee County children. And now we're gearing up for a 10,000 book drive. We're trying to give each child a book at Christmas, so help us make that goal of 10,000 books. We also are giving out book bags, and we did about 4,000 book bags to 5 schools in Milwaukee County, and we just keep trying to do good here in Milwaukee County.
Well, it sounds like you've got all your bases covered through feeding and through education. We thank you so much for doing good in our communities and, of course, for joining us for Thursday Night Lights.
Thank you.
And back to you.
Thank you so much. All season we will have the opportunity to talk with our sponsors and coaches and other guests down on the sidelines. We like to find out what's going on in the schools and communities we visit. Our sideline reports brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Injured player Ahmad Anderson, the 6'2 senior defensive tackle, like a little lower leg injury as the Crusaders will punt this one away. Darius Crowley-Reed going to pick it up off the ground. Across the 10, near sideline, across the 20, and steps out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Right in front of Elijah Sotis, the junior tight end, also working special teams for the Crusaders.
You know, and oftentimes you see the punt returner kind of fumble the ball momentarily, and more often than not, suddenly you see him pick that ball up and start to break free. I don't know whether it's subconsciously sometimes when you're playing special teams and you see that happen as you're going down on coverage, you kind of let up for a second, and before you know it, especially a player with the speed of Darius Crowley-Reed, he can be to the outside.
Game of adjustments here. Racine Lutheran on their previous drive defensively able to slow the Greendale Martin Luther down. Let's see what they do here on this possession as the Spartans will take over at their own 22. 1st and 10. Darius Crowley-Reed trying to step out of a couple of tackles and will be thrown for a loss. Good coverage back there defensively. James Wilson finally able to finish off Crowley-Reed in the backfield for a loss of 3.
It takes a while to adjust to the speed of a player as quick as Darius is, and it seems like Racine Lutheran is starting to slip into that pattern now.
James Wilson, the junior, able to make that stop. 2nd and 13 upcoming here for the Spartans. Mueller wants to scramble now to the right. He's looking to throw. Now just throws it out. Completes the pass far side. Jake Blasey. Second nice reception tonight for Blasey. Will pick up the first down all the way out to the 40-yard line.
And Nick Mueller was able to keep that play alive. Forced out. Scrambles to his right.
Gain of 20 and a first down here for Blasey and the Spartans. Another Gruber Law, or I should say Bryant and Stratton, sponsoring our first downs here in quarter number 2. Bryant and Stratton College Athletics. 1st and 10 Spartans. Darius Crowley-Reed cuts it back up, gets to the line of scrimmage, breaks the tackle, now cuts back to his right with some room. First down and more for Darius Crowley-Reed. Picks up 13 before he's finally put to the turf. Elijah Solis, the defensive end, finally able to make a tackle.
Yeah, Darius runs probably about 35 yards on this play, but you can see how quickly he stops, starts, spins.
Shoulder tackles are not going to work. He's just going to throw you around. Good upper body strength. From the 46 of Racine Lutheran, 1st and 10 Spartans. Mueller going to keep it himself. Mueller struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good job, Tyler Tenner, working both ways tonight. This time from his outside linebacker position to make the tackle.
Yeah, that was not a smooth fake as he tried to ride that ball into Darius' stomach a little bit, and as he went to pull it out, they kind of stumbled. you've got to have that flow much more smoothly.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Once again to the sideline, Mike McGivern, what do you have?
Hey guys, number 73, I'm on Anderson. They're checking his left knee. Probably questionable for the rest of the game.
All right, Mike, we'll keep an eye on it. Thank you very much. 2nd down play, Darius Crowley-Reed. Breaking tackles, Darius Crowley-Reed in the clear. He'll take it in for the touchdown. Crowley-Reed for the touchdown, 45 yards, and Martin Luther adds to their lead, now up 19-7.
You know, once again, it looks like he's bottled up, no place to go, and he's able to get himself out of that position, and there he's gone.
Once he got that play to the near sideline here, got to the outside containment, just turned on the afterburners. We're short a player here on special teams. They got to hustle this up. Ben Dreher will come in to cover the end here. Kick for the extra point is up, and it is no good. 19-7.
That might be the case of Howard being injured and not being out on that special teams.
75-yard drive here for the Spartans. We get one more look on the touchdown run here by Darius Crowley-Reed. Just not going to get him. Colton Krause, the last line of defense there, trying to take him down, but too much speed.
That old adage, you can't coach speed.
No.
And then when it's there, and he really, I think, impressed us watching him in practice. He's all business. You'd figure here's a guy going both ways, yet always fired up, trying to encourage his teammates.
Well, coming up at halftime, we'll highlight this week's Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin Scholar Athletes. Also, Carol, I have a chance to talk with a few of our sponsors. That's all coming up during our halftime report here on My 24. 19-7, Martin Luther on top. Pair of touchdowns tonight for Darius Crowley-Reed. Last one from 45 yards.
Yeah, Darius has to be well over 100 yards so far in this first half.
And they'll try the short kick. Touched in bounds, and Racine Lutheran's going to have to fall on it back at the 24-yard line. Jalen Houston able to cover it up. It's an important drive, I think, right now for the Crusaders. They've got to get their offense going here.
Yeah, they probably came into the game feeling pretty good about themselves, and now they have some doubts. They've seen how well Greendale Martin Luther has come out.
First and 10 for the Crusaders. And this will be Tyler Tenner. Cuts it back to the outside. Tenner with some green pasture here. Going to be raced down from behind by Darius Crowley-Reed. Nice run that time by Tenner. Gain of 25, but there you saw the closing speed on defense provided by Crowley-Reed.
Right, I mean, Tenner had gotten away, but he was not going to be able to outrun Darius.
Tenner will come out for a breather here. One more look.
He too is initially stuffed up, but doesn't go down. Keeps his balance, shifts the ball to the outside, and there you see Darius coming from behind.
Bruce Cozy takes it into Spartan territory, angles all the way out of bounds at the 35-yard line. A nice pickup of about 15 on the play for Bruce Cozy, the sophomore. And getting a a convoy of blockers out there and able to open up a hole over that left side. And they'll run the jet sweep once again. Tenner with some running room. Tenner to the 20-yard line and brought down again by Darius Crowley-Reed. Gain of about 14 on the play that time for Tenner.
Mr. Tenner and Mr. Crowley-Reed are becoming very close friends as they, play identical roles for each of their teams.
And they'll line Tenner up as a wideout. Let's get a replay of that jet sweep package. This time they'll fake it. Hess will keep it. Hess moving the pile inside the 15-yard line. So now the Crusaders are starting to get a little tempo here to their offense.
Right, and Josh Hess is a good-sized quarterback at 6'3", 197 pounds.
Colton Kraus will check in now as a wide receiver here on the near side on 2nd down and inches here. Tenner comes in motion, jet sweep here to the near side. Tenner will get the first down. Just across the 13-yard line. Tyler Tenner, 5'6", 160-pound junior. Bryce Kowinski there to make the stop. Those of you.
First and goal for the Crusaders.
So mark it inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for Racine Lutheran. Penalty marker on the play as they will hand it off to Thomas Moore. Moore fights his way forward into the end zone for an apparent touchdown, but we'll check out the penalty.
Yeah, we're going to have two guys in motion at the same time. Going to make that play be called back.
That is the 3rd time that has been called against Racine Lutheran, all of them coming in the red zone.
Right, and once again, like we mentioned, Monday they were not able to have practice because of lightning in the area. Suddenly, you got to get your special teams worked in at least on Wednesday. Your practice time gets negated. And the other thing we noticed with both squads, unlike last week's two teams, Arrowhead and Muskego, you don't have the big numbers. So these kids, they're going both ways. You don't have as many kids able to do scout team. And so it's a little bit more difficult to get your timing set up.
Mark it 1st and goal now from the 16-yard line. And now play stopped by the officials once again here. This time the umpire throwing the flag. A false start penalty here on Racine Lutheran. Back-to-back penalties here. So now they'll move it back to the 17-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 17 here for Racine Lutheran.
And not only do you take points off the board, but you keep backing up.
Lineup Tenner in the backfield directly behind the quarterback Hess. Kraus split out to the far side left. They'll toss it to Tenner. Has some blocking to the outside. Gets to the 15. Cuts it back to the 13. Moving the pile. Breaks the tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Racine Lutheran.
This is one of those.
How did he do that?
We're going to have to see this one on replay because he was totally bottled up.
One more look here on this incredible 17-yard touchdown run.
Runs into his own man, bounces. And actually, they didn't have the angle on him quite as much as it looked initially.
Good job by Tenner to keep those feet moving. Loss for the extra point. It is up and through. 19-14. Spartan lead cut to 5 here with just under 7 minutes to go here in our first half. Big drive here, overcoming some penalties here in the red zone, but Tenner, one more look.
A little better look, you can see uses that straight arm, gets away. And one of the things I noticed on that play, John, we had talked before about the kicker, David Voss, changing numbers, and we can see a reason why. He's in at center. I don't know whether Robbie Eschman got injured. Initially, David Voss was listed as a backup running back, 5'8", 236-pounders, and of course all linemen like to think they could be running backs, but obviously the team had a need for him at center tonight, and there he was.
A very nice drive here for the Crusaders to answer the Spartan touchdown drive.
And those missed extra points, those can come back to haunt you. And I'm sure they have to get that angle of their game straightened out a little bit.
So Bryce and Brad Kulinski both back. Waiting this kick from Voss. This will be Brad Kulinski. Across the 20, cuts it up 25. Fumbles the football, loose across the 30. Racine Lutheran says they have it, and they do. Kulinski hit as he crossed the 30-yard line. Oh, they're going to give it back to the Spartans. My goodness.
And who came up with the ball?
Darius
Crowley-Reed.
Well, we'll have to get one more look here. I thought James Wilson on special teams found that football. As we'll watch, Kulinski right there got stripped. Ball came out.
Darius was able to get his arm in there and strip it away.
It was Jalen Houston.
From Jalen.
They were wrestling and fighting. The officials late to get in there. And now they're going to give it back to Racine Lutheran. Wow. The officials huddled up here, and Mike Trant's crew reverses the call.
Coach Hopper wishes he had that flag to throw for the replay official to step in there now.
6:36 to go in the half. Crusader football already in
A lot of wrestling going on in that pile, and there you see Rick Hopert talking to the side judge here. I always like that when you get in the official's ear, and the first thing he wants to tell you to do is, "Hey, get it, coach, get on the sideline. Get back on your sideline." Well, turnover here. See if Racine Lutheran will capitalize. Tenner has some room. Inside the 20, cuts it back to the 10. Just shy of the 10-yard line. Tyler Tenner. Touchdown already tonight. We get one more look here coming around the right side. Thomas Moore did a nice job there sealing off that edge, giving Tenner that opportunity to take it to the sideline. Be first and goal here. Bryant and Stratton College Athletic first down here. First and goal for the Crusaders. Tenner comes in motion near side. They'll fake it to him. They'll hand it off to Thomas Moore inside. Spins out of a tackle, dives to the goal line, but will be short.
Very nice little inside counter play that time.
Trying to take advantage of Dakota Dexter out there, the right tackle. They'll mark him down at the 2. Second and goal from the 2. Looking for their first lead here. Second and goal from the 2. Hess will hand it off. Tenner dives to the end zone. Touchdown, Racine Lutheran. And the Crusaders take the lead by 1, capitalizing on the fumble recovery on the kickoff. It's Tenner, his second score tonight.
Yeah, that's another one of the plays that Dax Rodriguez was talking to stop his defense about how you stop. It's the ISO. The fullback leads through the hole, isolates on the linebacker, and cleared the hole for Tyler Tenner to go in.
They will go for 2 here. Cozy in motion. He will get it on the jet sweep, and he'll be stopped shy of the goal line. So they went for two. It was Crowley Reed out there on the edge once again, able to seal it down. This will be our break. 5:22 to go here in the first half. Racine Lutheran with their first lead tonight by 1 over Martin Luther.
Next 2.5 Men. Your son finally gets a friend and you're gonna try to nail his mother? Alan's making like Charlie.
You've slept with one of Jake's teachers, den mother, karate instructor, ballet teacher, and his aunt.
So 5 wrongs make a right. Next 2.5 Men. Tomorrow at 5 on My 24.
It's tag team action in the main event. The Bullet Club versus Mark Briscoe and Bully Ray. This week on Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Saturday at 9 on My 24.
We're here because U.S. Cellular has unlimited data.
So does my carrier.
That works even out here.
Oh.
And our total plans don't have hidden fees.
Neither does my plan.
You sure about that? Hidden fees from other carriers pop up unexpectedly and hit you. Over again.
I saw that one coming.
They'll get you every time. Get no hidden fees and unlimited data with a stronger signal plus $300 back only from U.S. Cellular.
A 2-yard touchdown run here for Tyler Tenner, and Racine Lutheran takes their first lead of the night here, midway through this second quarter.
Yeah, they wanted to get that 2-point conversion to put them up by at least 3 so that wouldn't open the door for Martin Luther to kick a field goal.
Well, took advantage of the Kalinsky fumble on the kickoff, able to turn that into points and the lead. Let's see how the Spartans respond. Bosch has it teed up, this time to the just off center to the right on the 40-yard line. Kick this one away, trying to drop it, and it rolls out of bounds. Now we'll see what Coach Smith wants to do here, either take the ball or make them re-kick. While they sort it out, we'll let you know that it's the toughest reality show on television. It's American Ninja Warrior. Don't miss the action tomorrow night at 7 right here on My 24.
Yeah, both teams, I think, certainly would like to see their special teams perform a little bit higher caliber of play. But once again, not as an excuse, so many of these guys going both ways, it starts to take its toll.
Let's head back to the sideline. This time, John Pearson, what do you have?
We got somebody that is ready to devote his life to our country, Ariel Cortez of the Martin Luther guys here, and talking a little bit. You're just back from basic training, and you didn't get enough practices in to get on the field, so you got to watch this all happening here. But talk about that a little bit, being able to go away for basic training, and then you're still in high school. This is kind of a weird thing. How did this happen?
It happened, I just woke up one day, and I was like, I didn't really know what I was going to do with my life. But I knew I wanted to go to college, and there was a good route for me. So then I was like, I might as well go serve my country. Go.
So when these guys talk about how hard football practice is, do you kind of mention what basic training's like? Can you compare the two for us?
Yeah, I tell them all the time. Basic training, like, it's kind of like the drill sergeants at basic training. They kind of yell at you, get on you. But, I mean, it's nothing compared to the PT that we did over there. But I tell them all the time, but they still think they could do it and handle it.
And what's the number one thing you've gotten out of this as you get ready to basically serve your country? Nice play there, but yeah.
The number one thing I got out of it was just how to respect my more people, and I just kind of like, I feel like I got more mature in it, and it helped me get better physically for football.
Okay, and our sideline man, Mike McGivern's over there, and he's also one of your basketball coaches here. He said you got to say something nice. Can you come up with anything?
Anything? Well, he is a nice coach. He helps me a lot through good times. He gives me a couple rides a couple times. But, yeah, he's always there for the team. Yeah.
He's coaching me on the sideline, too.
Oh, John, good story. Good story there. The other nice thing about Mike, he's got a brother, John.
Right. The good brother, as we refer to him.
Yes. Crowley Reed stopped for no gain after Bryce Kalinsky made that nice gain across midfield. Sets up second and long here for the Spartans.
Play prior to that, Nick Mueller, faked it to Crowley Reed and then kept it himself and faked out everyone and got himself not key first down.
2nd and 9 for the Spartans. All at the Crusader 47-yard line. Nick Mueller, a movement up front. Play is whistled dead. Might be a false start penalty out there on the right side of that line. So we have Nate Crawley at right guard and Colin Zielinski at right tackle over there. And came off a half count too soon.
Yeah, both juniors trying to clear some running room for Darius Crowley-Reed.
So 2nd and 14 now for the Spartans, back at their own 47-yard line. Darius Crowley-Reed going to be brought down in the backfield for a loss. Right into the arms of Elijah Solis. 6'1", 205-pound junior, another two-way player here for Racine Lutheran.
Yeah, you can see Elijah coming off that edge, stayed with the play, and then as Crowley-Reed tried to do what he likes to do so often, is cut back, ran right in to Elijah.
A loss of 5 on the play, back to the 42-yard line. Brings up 3rd and long now. 3rd and 21 for the Spartans. Trips to the right side. Single back is Crowley-Reed. And they'll work the screen pass with some opening here. Kolinski gets back to the original down marker, well short of the first down, but a good pickup. On 3rd and 21, gets about 16 of those yards back.
Yeah, rocket screen there as they brought that wide receiver underneath. Gets those other wide receivers in as his pass blockers and scoots upfield.
Officially a gain of 11, sets up 4th and 9. See what the Spartans want to do. Again, they used 2 timeouts earlier here in the half. They might be buying some time here. They'll take their final timeout here with just over 3 minutes to go here in this first half.
Yeah, this is a real interesting choice for Greendale Martin Luther. We've seen that Racine Lutheran's got its offense clicking, and do you want to give them good field position, or do you have the confidence in your offense that you can get this first down?
This week on Faith in the Zone, former Nebraska quarterback and current head coach at Liberty University, Turner Gill, will join Mike McGivern and Pastor Ken Keltner to discuss his faith and how it has affected his life, both professionally and personally. That's Faith in the Zone, Sundays at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan. So as a coach, what are you looking at? 4th and 9 here, something that's going to get you 10 yards.
Well, as Coach Basham always used to say, this is why the head coach gets the big bucks. And when you make that right call, you look like a genius. So, he could be looking at a screen pass, they saw that rocket screen got him some yardage. Or you might want to find a way to get Darius Crowley-Reed the ball. That might be the obvious choice.
The offense is going to stay out there as Mueller takes them back out. Darius Crowley-Reed will be the lone tailback.
A little confusion here on Racine. They've got twins out here, and they don't have both twins covered.
No, they don't. And they have to take a timeout. Yeah. Good spot there, Coach, as Coach Smith across the way said, let's wait a minute here, fellas. We got to get a hat-on-hat here.
Those are those times when you're up in the booth calling defenses and you're screaming, who's got the twins on the left side?
Yeah. Well, we talked about it in the opening. We don't get much talk about a Metro Classic Conference. Again, Racine Lutheran, Greendale Martin Luther. You've got Kenosha St. Joe, Racine St. Catherine in that league, Shoreland Lutheran, and Burlington Catholic Central, part of that league.
Yeah, a number of those teams have been very successful in the playoffs. Racine Lutheran, since 2003, has been in the playoffs 12 times. Last year at St. Kate's had an excellent team last year. Racine Lutheran handed them the only loss they had in the conference. Greendale Martin Luther has also made, I think, 8 appearances in the playoffs since the year 2000. So, yeah, the enrollments, you've got Greendale Martin Luther, about 500-plus students. Racine Lutheran at 210. But the quality of play, as you can see, they've got some excellent athletes.
And Burlington Catholic Central School of about 125, maybe 130 students. What Tom Aldrich has done there, the success that they have had at the Division 6, Division 7 level over the last several years. Well, here we go, 4th down. Mueller's going to throw, angles the pass, completes to Blasey. Blasey fumbled the football as he was drilled. Ball is loose, picked up by Racine Lutheran. Coming back the other way is Jalen Houston with it. They would have had the first down, but Blasey had the ball jarred loose, and it was Houston coming up with the loose football for the Crusaders. Take a look at the hit here.
Yeah, Mueller puts it right on the spot.
Right there, coming in, that was Thomas Moore. We had highlighted him in the pregame package, Terry.
You can see why he was a unanimous choice last year in the conference at linebacker.
So spot the football at the Racine Lutheran 30-yard line following the turnover on 4th down. Would have been enough for a first down. But the hit by Thomas Moore, jarring the ball loose, picked up by Jalen Houston. Hess wants to throw it out, swings it out to Tenner. Tenner makes the catch. Tenner wrapped up immediately. Nice play out there, one-on-one. Blasey comes right back, making the tackle out there. Check that, number 11, Brad Kalinsky there. Give him full forward progress here. Full 3 yards on the forward progress. Oh, that's a generous spot there for Racine Lutheran. 2nd down, 7. Tenner coming around near side. He's going to be stopped just shy of the first down. Crawley Reed there.
Tenner made excellent use of his blocker that time. Through the block, he cut right under. You can see the other running back, Thomas Moore, get out there and open the hole for him.
So 3rd and less than a yard here for Racine Lutheran. 1:40 to go here in this first half. Tenner in motion. They'll fake. They'll go to the inside handoff. Moore. And Moore going to be stopped for a loss. Still on his feet, but going to be stopped well shy of the first down. Back inside the 35-yard line. Stays in bounds, so the clock rolls. Petey Campbell there.
Had that initial contact, spun him around, but Thomas Moore, he keeps his feet churning as well.
Counter play on the inside, but Petey Campbell was not going to have any of it. Got his first mitts on him and waited for the cavalry to show up.
And that cavalry is once again Darius Crawley Reed along with Brody Lee.
Of course, without any timeouts left here, Racine Lutheran's going to take this all the way down as far as they can here. Martin Luther out of timeouts. Coach Smith standing near the official will take the timeout. Stopping play with 34 seconds to go. So an entertaining first half. Martin Luther getting out to the lead, 19-6, but Racine Lutheran scoring the last 2 times they had the football and take the lead.
Well, both coaches have some things they can feel, I think, good about. I think from Coach Hoppert's point of view, he's seen Greendale Martin Luther throw the ball much, much better than they had in their first 2 games. Coach Smith has to feel good about how his team responded. I hate to see people use that word adversity. The people down in Houston are suffering adversity. But they found themselves down with a couple scores, and they were able to respond. So I think both coaches have some things, and from what we've seen of how they coach, they're both positive individuals with their players. I think they want to build on that. I think we'll have a very entertaining second half.
Let's see what Racine Lutheran opts to do here. It would appear they're going to punt. Again, you have the quarterback that doubles up as your punter, so.
Well, I know to whom I would not want to kick the ball as I look.
And he's standing deep waiting for it. We are going to kick it to him. At least initially, and he'll let it hit the turf and roll out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So 31 seconds to go. Out of timeouts are the Spartans. So we'll see what Rick Hoppert wants to do here. Is he in conversation with his quarterback, Nick Mueller, heads to the huddle. So spotted at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for Greendale Martin Luther. They'll send trips here to the near side. Single back in the backfield is Crawley Reed. Handed off to Crawley Reed. Trying to work the middle. Gets a couple. Again, the Spartans out of timeouts here. They may elect just to take this one into the locker room here. So an entertaining first half here from Greendale Martin Luther High School. And Gene Schneider Field here as indeed the Spartans will let the clock roll out. So Racine Lutheran with a pair of touchdowns here in the second quarter take their first lead into the locker room. A 20-19 advantage for the Crusaders, as both teams will head to their respective locker rooms. We'll have our halftime programming coming your way next. 1-point lead for Racine Lutheran. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24. And welcome back to our halftime report here on U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. Entertaining first half here. Martin Luther jumping out to the quick 19-6 lead, but it's the Crusaders coming back with 14 unanswered to claim their first lead here at the break, 20-19. Well, tonight we'd like to highlight some special student athletes. The Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin is proud to present our Scholar Athlete of the Week nominees. This week's nominee from Racine Lutheran is Natalie Rosborough. She competes in volleyball, basketball, and soccer, carries a 4.05 GPA, and is a member of the National Honor Society. Natalie is an 8-time letter winner and was voted senior captain for volleyball. She was also selected first team all-conference in volleyball and honorable mention twice in soccer. She gives back to the community by volunteering at St. John's Lutheran Church and School. And according to Jason Block, Racine Lutheran AD, she is a wonderful young lady who exudes kindness, humility, and a servant heart. From Martin Luther High School, our nominee is Brian Melching. Brian participates in football and track. He is a solid 4.0 student, qualified for sectionals in the 4x800 relay. He is a Life Scout, a member of Jazz and Symphonic Band, a participant in the Wisconsin School Music Association Solo Ensemble, and Brian is also fluent in Chinese. Congratulations to this week's Scholar Athlete nominees. At the end of the season, one nominee will be chosen to receive a scholarship courtesy of Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Check them out online at orthowisconsin.com. 20-19, Racine Lutheran coming from behind here late in the second quarter to take the 1-point lead. Head back down to the sideline, and Mr. Mike McGivern.
Boys, I'm here with the principal at Martin Luther, Dr. Wayne Jensen. I've known Dr. Jensen a long time. I knew him before he was Dr. Jensen. He was just Coach Jensen back then. Wayne, thank you so much for having us here tonight.
Oh, you're certainly welcome. It's our privilege and honor to host you guys. Glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hey, I've been coach here now 2 years going on 3, and I love the spirit of this school. I love the way these kids interact with each other. Stuff that you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis is really working.
We've got a great thing going here. We've been growing in really powerful, meaningful ways, and it's really allowed us to attract and retain really awesome kids and teachers and people like you guys.
Well, and when you talk about the teachers, it's really these are teachers that care about these kids in this community more than some other schools that I've coached at. So you've kind of developed that, I think, within the teachers and within the faculty here at Martin Luther.
Well, I would just tell you, Mike, we take very, very seriously being intentional about the brand, right? That we teach truth. And this whole idea of sharing Jesus, shaping lives, and developing leaders. And everything we do, whether it's awesome basketball or football or cheerleading or dance or music or chemistry, all those things are about helping our kids learn and grow in their faith first and foremost, and then all the things that are going to take them to college and beyond. So we've got a very special thing going here.
So we coached against each other. He was at Milwaukee Lutheran, I was at Dominican, and my daughter went to Milwaukee Lutheran. I said, "Your coach drives me nuts." She said, "Dad, he's the best coach I've ever had in my life. You leave him alone." Do you miss being on the sidelines a little bit?
I do, and I love what I get a chance to do, influencing this kind of team here as the principal. I love it. I love the fact that the last time we ever played against each other, my team won, so I'm happy about that. But our scoreboard is different now here in this role, and we're winning, and we're being blessed.
You know, he talked about telling the truth. Now I got to look back. Wayne, Dr. Jensen, thank you so much.
My privilege.
Back to you, boys.
Mike and Dr. Jensen, thank you so much, and thank the folks here at Greendale Martin Luther for hosting us here tonight.
Do you think that's the first time that Mike's ever talked to a principal and not been in trouble? I've got to imagine that's quite a role reversal for him.
We'll step out 20-19. Racine Lutheran on top of Greendale Martin Luther on My 24. Welcome back to our halftime report here on U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Northwest Surgery Center. Racine Lutheran, 3 touchdowns tonight by Tyler Tenner, and they take a 1-point lead here at the half by a score of 20-19. Let's head back to the sideline, and Kara.
Thank you very much. I have Jacob Finter with Respect Our Waters down here with me. What is Respect Our Waters?
So Respect Our Waters is an education campaign where we give simple tips to people about how we can all keep our water clean, and it's really easy stuff that we can do.
And what are some of the things you can do? Oh, and we have Sparkles the Water Spaniel with us, too.
Yeah, you can meet our spokes dog, Sparkles. He helps us by going on TV and radio and doing things like cleaning up after our dogs in our backyards, because water will wash that into our streets and into our storm drains and then directly into our rivers and our lakes untreated. And another thing we can do as it relates to storm drains is we can adopt a storm drain. So if you go on to respectourwaters.org, there's a program on there that you can get involved and learn more about.
And you can also adopt maybe a water spaniel, too.
Not on our website, but, Sparkles is our water spaniel, and we love all dogs. So, yeah, definitely.
Well, we appreciate you guys doing so much for our waters and, of course, for joining us for Thursday Night Lights. And thank you, Sparkles. Back to you guys.
Kara, thank you so much. Well, a busy week in high school football once again, week 3, and a lot of big games this week. The games to watch brought to you by the Big 920 WOKY, and games to watch tomorrow night include, how about Brookfield East at Muskego?
Yeah, Muskego is, coming off that huge win over Arrowhead. Brookfield East had a very close game that they won against Marquette.
Arrowhead right out of the fire into the frying pan against Catholic Memorial.
But Arrowhead was not as bad as the score might have indicated last week, but they're going to run into a very strong CMH team.
West Bend East and Hartford, another clutch battle there.
Well, both teams 2-0, and Hartford's coming to the North Shore Conference. West Bend East is having some success this year, so that's going to kind of establish maybe part of the new pecking order in the North Shore Conference.
Those are some of the games to watch in the Big 920. No high school football this week on the Big 920. The Badgers will be taking over the airwaves against Utah State, and the Badgers will be on the Big 920 AM. You can tune in at 9:20 AM or on the iHeartRadio app. Keyword the Big 920. 2019, Racine Lutheran on top of Greendale Martin Luther. Back with more from Greendale Martin Luther High School after this. Halftime report continues here. U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. Back in Greendale this week. Greendale Martin Luther High School. Spartans, the homestanding Spartans, trailing here by 1. 14 unanswered points by Racine Lutheran, and they lead it 20-19. Once again, we get on to the sideline, and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I'm here with the athletic director, Corey Shield from Greendale Martin Luther. Corey, thanks for having us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. This is outstanding. Thanks for being here.
You know, you guys got a lot of teams. You have a lot to do during the day, and I love the fact that you do a great job as an athletic director, but you know what I want to talk to you about.
What is that?
Last year's girls basketball team. Coach, I just got to tell you, he's the head basketball coach, the girls side here, and it was so fun to be a small part of that, just watching you practice with that team. It didn't finish the way you wanted. You went to the state finals. And Los, I understand that, but that year and that journey with that group of girls was incredible.
It was a special year, special group of girls. To do what we did, 25 games in a row, undefeated in conference, and get to where we went was amazing, and that was a goal for us. We knew we had the opportunity to do that and the chance, and it came true. And just looking forward to getting into this year. Got a lot of the same girls back. I lost some great seniors that played a big role for us, but the girls coming back are going to be outstanding. And I don't call it rebuilding at all. We retool, we reteach, and we just keep going at it. And want to be another force to be reckoned with in our conference.
So you can tell when I talk to him about athletic director stuff, he's just matter of fact. I talked to him about girls basketball, man, he lights up. Really quickly, the seniors that you lost, that group had been together for a long time, and they really did lead that team to the state finals.
They have been together since fifth grade. And their leadership played a big role in what we did, and I think they leave a big legacy, and they taught a lot of lessons to the underclassmen and the girls that I have returning. I think they picked up a lot from that, and I'm excited because I'm going to have some of that same leadership coming back this year because they know how to lead, and they continue to see that throughout our program.
Athletic director here at Martin Luther. For me, more importantly, the girls basketball coach. Corey, thanks a lot. Good luck this year.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
You bet. Back to you, boys.
Mike, Corey, thank you so much. Hey, where did everybody go? Oh, there they are. They're all waiting for the football team to return. That's something the student section does here for Greendale Martin Luther. They all leave the stands and wait for their football team and let them run through and high-five the team as they come back onto the field for the start of the second half. Here I thought there was maybe they had homework or something. No. Big test tomorrow.
No, one of the nice things about a smaller school is all the students do know one another. And so that support that you feel and the connection you have with your classmates, that makes for just a wonderful experience.
Let's head back downstairs to Kara.
Thank you very much. I have Staff Sergeant Brian Williams with the United States Army down here with me. Thank you, of course, for serving and for joining us for Thursday Night Lights. Why did you join?
I joined because it was a family tradition. My dad did 32 years. My mom did 20 years. And so it's just something I feel in my heart that I should do.
So, part of the qualifications are being fit. We've seen that tonight down here on the field. We've also seen that behind the scenes. We've got some push-up contests going on. We're running. We're power walking. What else do you need to be able to join?
What the basic qualifications is you got to be at ages 17 to 34, young men or women, with good moral and good physical condition. And that's basically it. It doesn't say as long as they're in good moral and good physical conditions and they're between the ages 17 and 34 and have at least a high school diploma is fine.
And you offer things outside after joining, right? Like scholarship programs and continued education?
Yes, the Army is very big on continued education. We have the Wisconsin GI Bill that pays 100% tuition for people that live in the state of Wisconsin. You also have the Montgomery GI Bill, and you have different type of benefits that will help pay for that college and provide you an opportunity to get that college degree that you want.
Well, thank you so much for sharing those opportunities with us, again, for serving and, of course, for joining us down here on the field.
Thanks for having me.
And back to you.
We'll take one more break. We'll be back with third quarter action here from Greendale Martin Luther High School. Racine Lutheran, the 1-point lead. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. Getting set for third quarter action here for our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights. Racine Lutheran 14 unanswered in that second quarter to take a 1-point lead. Before we kick off our third quarter, Mike, what'd you find out there on that sideline?
Hey, boys, he's the dean of students to most people. To me, the head boys basketball coach here at Martin Luther. Paul and I have coached together a long time. Paul Wallersheim. Coach, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Does anybody call you dean, like dean of students? No, it's coach, right?
Coach, Mr. W. Yep, they can't pronounce my last name.
Hey, we've talked there's something special here at Martin Luther. I love being here. I know you love being here. The school itself, good vibe about this school.
A lot of good people care about kids, care about just making a difference in kids' lives here.
Hey, 23-4 last year. Got a lot of the boys back. Feel pretty good about this year's basketball team here at Martin Luther?
Yeah, I mean, we're excited to get things going. Had our first open gym yesterday. A lot of energy, a lot of kids. The countdown is on to November for sure.
Countdown is on. Tell you, Paul and I have been coaching together for a long time, and I'm going to go on camera to say I love this guy. One of the best coaches in the state of Wisconsin. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you. Paul, good to see you as well. And good luck to Coach Wallersheim and the boys basketball program here at Greendale Martin Luther. Interesting first half. Spartans jumped out to the early lead, as we'll take a look at our highlight package here at the half, and here's the early lead right there.
Yeah, they hit that pass to Luke Howard, and then we could see Darius Crowley-Reed take over. Jumped out to that lead.
Racine Lutheran answered, cut that lead almost in half, missed the extra point, and Darius Crowley-Reed again, dancing his way into the end zone. His second touchdown of the half.
Yeah, 46-yard scamper there, but Racine Lutheran has the answer to that with Tyler Tenner.
Looked like he was going to get down at the 10-yard line, but somehow kept his feet. 3 touchdowns on the night so far for Tyler Tenner. And the Racine Lutheran coming from behind to take that 1-point lead midway through the second quarter. And will hang on to that lead and get the football to begin this third quarter.
Right, they want to make sure that they keep putting that pressure on Greendale Martin Luther.
Well, now let's take a look at some of last week's Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals great moments from across the country.
Far sideline, Secrets, jump ball. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. What a catch! Tipped it
to himself
and holds on to it. Wow.
For the Patriots. Comes through and the punt is blocked. It's blocked. Receiver picks it up, gets inside the 10.
Here's the snap, and he's going to run with it himself, and he's got it in. Touchdown! South Florence has tied the ball game in 36 seconds on the final play of the game.
They pitch it out to Burrows. He's got room, and he reaches across the goal line.
Bottom of the screen. Nice little gap, and what a play in the backfield. That hand on the ground, and as a running back, you always wanted to tell the coach, let's see if the knee hit the ground at all. Officials watching it very closely. Great shot by our camera guys, and it looks like he was clean.
From shotgun again, Dolencheck. Swings it out to Smith. Smith, the one-handed grab and the first down. He's to the 30, the 20. James Smith from 43 yards out in for the score after a great one-handed grab.
Look at the strength here. Mossert able to, did not step out. Boy, very close to stepping out, just inside the 5. But
Steadied that ball, touched the pylon. That's all you needed to do to score.
Lights and Friday Rivals from across the country as Racine Lutheran and Thomas Moore returns the football out to the just shy of the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 Racine Lutheran as our third quarter gets underway, and it's Tyler Tenner working his way over the right side. Gets the first down, moving the pile forward all the way down to the Greendale Martin Luther 40-yard line. 17-yard run and a first down for the Crusaders.
Yeah, that injury in the first half to Luke Howard for Martin Luther also affects them not only offensively. He was an outside linebacker for him, and that's exact hole they attacked that time.
Our third quarter first downs brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Hess, the quarterback. Not much there. Just to keep the defense honest.
Yeah,
keying on Tenner.
Yeah, a little fake to Tenner, but then they have the guard, Alex Schultz, 6'3", 310 pounds, pull around, and Hess follows his lead.
Second down, 8. And movement again. Long count there by Hess, the quarterback, and there was a little flinch in movement off that right side.
I think Bruce Cozy, the wing out there, got a little jump on that ball.
So loss of 5 off the penalty makes it a 2nd and 13. Again, just underway, third quarter. Key matchup here. First conference game of the year here for both teams. Metro Classic. Tenor picks his way around the right side. Good yardage off that play. Gets it down to the 35-yard line.
Once again, a very good kick-out block by number 4, Thomas Moore, hitting that outside backer.
Gain of about 8 on the play. Sets up 3rd and 5 now for Racine Lutheran. Tyler Tenor in the backfield, behind the quarterback. Thomas Moore offset to the left. And they'll give it to Tenor. Tenor breaking tackles to the outside. Tenor, first down. Inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. Good run once again, able to keep his feet, get the edge, and picks up the Gruber Law Office's first down.
Yeah, you can see Tyler head outside, and of course, who's in pursuit? Darius Crawley-Reed. And these two gentlemen have tremendous respect for each other. You see Darius help Tyler to his feet. They both appreciate they're playing both ways, working extremely hard.
Just inside the 25-yard line here for the Crusaders, 1st and 10. Fake to Tenor. Hess trying to get the edge on the right side, and they close in a hurry. Key there, Lazy that time on defense, able to come up, seal off that edge, and then Bryce Kolinsky now in double digits with 10 tackles. And we got an injured. Again, Hess still
That's the second time he's taken a pretty solid hit.
It's Darius coming in to make the play. Crawley-Reed, that last hit, I think.
Jake Blasey initially slowed him up. Once again, both teams have DBs who get in on the tackle. They're not just standing back there.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. That's still not quite 100% there as he's getting set to take the snap. We'll give it to Tenor. Tenor. Not much running room there. Good seal off that time. Again, Darius Crawley-Reed in and around the football. We talked to Coach Hoppert, and Dax Rodriguez, the defensive coordinator, talked about him. He just has a nose for the ball. Every time you look up, there he is, right on the play.
He reads very well and very quickly and gets up into that hole.
Crawley-Reed now with 10 tackles on the night. 3rd down and 4. Ball at the 16-yard line. Tenor trying to come up the middle. And he's going to be stopped shy of the first down.
Yeah, that time they were able to stuff the hole on that isolation block.
Kolinsky was there to get one more look. Going to be stopped to the shy of the first down. Tight formation here on 4th and 2. Give us to Tenor, fights his way forward, and going to be close. With the forward progress, he should have it, and does. Gruber Law Office's first down for Tenor.
Now they followed that right side of the line. Alex Schultz at guard, Dakota Dexter at tackle on that right side.
Again, Tenor, his dad, Corey, all-state running back in the days of Racine Park. And not much there on first down for Tenor again. His dad, Corey, coaching here on the coaching staff here for Racine Lutheran. And they'll go with a tight formation on 2nd and 10. Hess trying to turn the corner right side, and he's met there on the outside. Again, good seal off that time by Brad Kulinski. Able to get in there and make the stop. Kulinski now with 5 tackles on the night.
Yeah, this initial drive, I think they were trying to follow Coach Smith's idea of being physical. Their offensive line is lining up heel to heel, trying to just power the ball. Now I think they're going to try to split their formation a little bit, create some more running seams.
3rd and long. Play fake, Tenor. Hess looking to dump it out, completes the pass. Elijah Solis able to make the catch. Be short of the first down. Another 4th down upcoming here for Racine Lutheran. And just rolling Hess out. And it's tough rolling left, throwing across your body sort of there, and still able to hit Solis with a nice pass. So big 4th down here in the opening drive of this 3rd quarter for Racine Lutheran. 4th and 8 from the 10-yard line. Hess rolling right. Now cuts it up the middle. Hess with some running room. Hess trying to get to the outside. Has the first down. And then he is driven back on the sideline. Let's see where forward progress is here.
It's going to be close.
To reset that chain as it got out of the way of the players there, and they're eyeing it up. Still no official signal from Mike Trad, our referee, and he's going to turn it over on downs. My goodness, it's going to be short. And so the Martin Luther defense comes up big here. Midway through our 3rd quarter, we'll get one more look as we go to break. Racine Lutheran and Hess stop short of the first down. Ball goes back over to the Spartans when we return here on My 24. Spartans come up big defensively, turn back the Crusaders on 4th down, and will take over their first possession here of this second half. For all of the info on the green and gold, including special guests, players, and more, watch Locker Room starting this coming Tuesday night at 6:30 on My Place for Sports, My 24. So Spartans will get it at their own 3-yard line. Darius Crowley-Reed with the carry. Struggles back to the line of scrimmage, maybe the 5-yard, a gain of 2. Again, Racine Lutheran holding that 1-point lead, but the Spartans coming up big defensively here. Let's see if they can turn it around. Nick Mueller in at quarterback. Missed week 1 against Whitnall. Trying to shake off a rib injury. Brad Kulinski is H-back over to the left side. From his own end zone, will dump it out. Kulinski complete. Out across the 15. Out near the 20-yard line. Should be enough for a Gruber Law Office's first down. Gain of about 10 on the play. Brad Kulinski on the reception. Jake Blasey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mueller, once again, he's demonstrating that he does have a good arm, able to put the ball on the mark. Last year he threw for, over 1,200 yards, 60% completion rate. So he has that ability, and I'm sure they're happy to see him getting into this kind of a rhythm.
Opens up some space, gets them out from under the shadow of their own goalpost. Another Gruber Law Office first down for Greendale Martin Luther. They trail by 1. Crowley-Reed right into the teeth of that defense for Racine Lutheran. Dakota Dexter there on the stop, his second tackle tonight. I'll tell you what, Spartans have done a very good job of keeping him away from Darius Crowley-Reed.
That first half, unofficially, we had Crowley-Reed with 12 carries for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we know they'd like to find a way to get that ball to him a little bit more. again this half.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. 3:40 to go here in the third. Fake to Crowley Reed. Mueller over the middle, high and incomplete. Looking for Blasey on a slant. Couldn't connect.
Yeah, Luke Howard, who was injured in the first half, is not going to return tonight. Had a reoccurrence of that neck injury, and they certainly could use him. He got that opening touchdown pass.
Good coverage out there defensively for Racine Lutheran. James Wilson out there. Rick Hoppert, coach for Greendale Martin Luther, looking at his team facing a 3rd and 9 from their own 21. Trips to the left side. Single back is Crowley Reed. Nice snap, whistle, and a flag. Defense encroachment. So takes him out of a 3rd and 9. We'll set up a 3rd and 4 now for the Spartans.
Coach Smith is the defensive coordinator, and those are the kind of things that can drive him over the wall. You had a 3rd and long situation, and now you bring it to 3rd and about 4. Changes the whole litany of plays that Coach Hopper is able to choose from.
Come out of trips now. They'll go 2 receivers each side here now. And Crowley Reed the single back. Fake to him. Mueller pumps once. Now tried to go back over the middle. Nearly picked off. Incomplete, looking for Blasey. Again, that same play, that slant route coming from left to right.
They don't have a choice here. They need to punt that ball away. They can't go for it deep in their own territory.
Tried a little hitch and go, waiting for Blasey to clear, and he couldn't quite clear out of the Thomas Moore, the inside linebacker there, who got a hand on that pass. Crowley Reed will punt it away. Good kick here. Moore will take, across his own 45, looking to get it to midfield. Into Spartan territory as he was able to break through the Brad Kulinski tackle and finally wrapped up at the midfield stripe. So a penalty marker down back at the line of scrimmage. Well, if this is on Racine Lutheran at the line of scrimmage, let's see what we have. Legal procedure against the Spartans. Of course, that'll be declined. And well, before the game, Kara had a chance to sit down and talk with our good friends at Goodwill.
Thank you very much. I have Cheryl Lightholder with Goodwill here with me. Now, Cheryl, why is Goodwill a great resource for back-to-school shopping?
Well, when it comes to back to school, Goodwill is definitely a resource for less. You can get so much more for your dollar, from stylish clothing to accessories to backpacks to just about anything. Kids of all ages can find something at Goodwill, and their teachers too.
And where can students and teachers find more information about back-to-school shopping?
Well, I recommend that people visit our website, amazinggoodwill.com. There they can find some really great fashion ideas and a gallery of amazing looks that we've already put together to give you an idea of how you can style.
Well, thank you so much for that insight and for joining us for Thursday Night Lights.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
And back to you.
Kara, thank you so much. And on the run, Tenor will pick up the first down. Check that, not Tenor. That is Colton Kraus with a carry for the Racine Lutheran Crusaders. He'll get the Gruber Law Office's first down just inside the Spartan 40-yard line. Well, stay tuned. Following the game, we'll highlight our play of the game, brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. So Racine Lutheran with the 1-point lead. Drove it down inside the 5-yard line before turning it over on downs. Tenner with the call. Met in the backfield. Breaks 2 tackles, 3 tackles. Still on his feet. Still fights for about 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, you look at the stats and you'll see, oh yeah, he had about a 4-yard gain. What you don't appreciate is how many times he took a hit, kept his balance, shoulders down, kept fighting to go forward.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 upcoming here. Minute 35 remaining here in the third quarter. Run that jet sweep to the far side. They'll get the first down, shy of the 25-yard line. Nolan Kraus with the carry off the jet sweep. His first run tonight.
Yeah, Nolan is only a freshman, playing with his brother. It's obviously a thrill for the Kraus family.
Again, with these smaller schools, you'll see 4 or 5, maybe 6 freshmen called up onto the varsity. Another Gruber Law Office's first down from the 25-yard line. And has nowhere to go, going to be wrapped up in the backfield.
Yeah, he didn't get that lead block from his back that he needed to spring him on that play.
Blasey with the solo tackle there. A loss of a couple here. And they faked the sweep. Blasey stayed home, made the play. Well, listen to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz Show presented by your local Pick and Save stores this Saturday starting at 10. Justin Gumm, the head coach at Kettle Moraine, will join Ryan and Mike in studio. They'll also chat with Rod Carey, the head coach at Northern Illinois. That's Saturday morning at 10 at Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan. Darius Crowley-Reed with his 11th tackle tonight.
He's put on an excellent performance tonight as you're looking for a young man who can lead your team. And there's something I'm sure Coach Smith doesn't like to see.
A little bit of cramping here, I think, on the part of Tenner. Hess play fake, rolling right, going to dump it out. It's going to be picked off by Darius Crowley-Reed. Makes the interception, takes it across the 25 to the 27-yard line. And that will end our third quarter here in Greendale. The Spartans trying to fire up their crowd here tonight, down by 1 as we head to the fourth. Racine Lutheran 20, the Spartans 19. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24. Interception by Darius Crowley-Reed has set up the Spartans just shy of their own 30-yard line as we begin quarter number 4 with Terry Kelly, John Weiser up in the booth, Mike McGivern and Kara down on the sidelines tonight from Greendale Martin Luther High School. And this will be quarterback Mueller on the keep. And another player down for Racine Lutheran. Back at the 25-yard line. Again, player down, I believe, cramping up.
I think.
While we tend to the injured player, let's head down to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, you're seeing Darius play football, and hopefully you're impressed. I coached him in basketball. Really good athlete, plays great defense. I tell you, our guards don't want to go against him in practice. And a while ago, he used to sit behind me at church. Much better football player than he is a singer in some of the hymns, a little tone deaf. Awfully good football player.
He is. He's done everything tonight on both sides of the ball. I'm very impressed with his ability.
And he's been forced into having to be the punter tonight, so really appreciate the talents he possesses.
Let's step out. Kara has a nice interview with our fine friends at Menards.
Thank you so much. We stopped by the Menards in Franklin to find out a little bit more about what makes Menards a great company. I've got Greg here who's been with Menards for over 20 years. What makes Menards so unique?
Well, we're a family-owned company. We're based out of Wisconsin. We were founded in 1958. In Wisconsin, we got 43 stores and 12 right here in the Milwaukee area. We just want to be your hometown hardware store. We look forward to serving everybody in our neighborhoods.
And why is it important to support high school sports and Thursday Night Lights?
Well, with our strong values that we have, being family owned, it kind of goes hand in hand with the strong values that high school athletics have. And we understand that the hard work and dedication make a successful team. We're committed to supporting our communities, and we look forward to serving, our neighborhood family and friends.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this season, and back to you guys.
Kara, thank you so much. Jalen Houston being assisted off the field and tending to him as if he were cramping up. And again, that would be this point of the ball game with most of these players going both ways that dehydration starts to set in here just a little bit.
Right, and you're not going to take in water now and counteract that cramping. You always have to make sure you've hydrated the day before and then throughout the day. And anybody who's had calf cramp, that feels like they're taking little knives and stabbing you in the...
Well, all season we'll have the opportunity to talk with sponsors, coaches, and other guests down on the sidelines, finding out what's going on in the schools and communities we visit. Sideline Reports brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Darius Crowley-Reed trying to get to the outside, breaks a tackle. Another tackle, Darius Crowley-Reed to the 45. Across midfield, the race is on. Has some blockers. Darius Crowley-Reed inside the 15, 10, 5. Pulled down near the pylon. And no signal by the officials. Then a touchdown. Darius Crowley-Reed, 70 yards for the touchdown and a horse collar tackle to boot. My goodness, what a run by Darius Crowley-Reed, almost as if on cue.
Right. You can't ask this young man to do any more than he's done tonight.
It's 3 or 4 different tackles. And trying to chase him down was Austin Honori. And we got a horse collar tackle here against Racine Lutheran. But the touchdown will stand, and Martin Luther takes their lead. Darius Crowley-Reed doing it all, getting the interception to set up this drive, and then goes 70 yards for the touchdown.
When you have a back on your team that runs as hard as Darius does, it just inspires his offensive linemen to go out and block for him because they know he's given everything he has, and they know if they give him any crack, he's able to go the distance.
They will go for 2 here. They had missed 2 other extra points tonight, so
this would put them up by 7.
Well, good call here. As taking a little extra time here, Mueller looking back at Crowley-Reed saying, "You got your breath? Because I think we're coming back." Mueller will get them set. They'll toss it out to Crowley-Reed. Nowhere to go. He'll try and cut back to his left, and he'll be swarmed under back near the 20-yard line. So the extra point no good, but Martin Luther with a 5-point lead, capitalizing on the Darius Crowley-Reed interception. And got a penalty flag on the play here too, so we'll see what we've got. So it's going to go against Martin Luther, the illegal shift. So the 2-point conversion fails, but they do capitalize on the takeaway.
Right, and as you're looking at both teams as they're walking off, these are tired young men. I mean, they are playing hard. It's a cooler night, and once again, people don't realize you're still sweating, and you're still, that's why we're seeing the cramps. You've got to make sure that you're still, intaking waters before you get to that cramping point.
Well, big play, and of course now get the lead. Now the defense has to go back to work here for the Spartans. As you get a good look at Crowley-Reed, his head coach.
Wonder if he's asking him if he feels tired.
Well, brought to you by Sweetwater, our watershed moment of the game. It is the interception here by Darius Crowley-Reed. Taking it away from the receiver and setting up this go-ahead touchdown drive. Again, this game-changing moment reminds us that you can be a game-changer in your watershed. When it rains, stormwater washes litter, yard waste, chemicals, and other debris into our rivers and lakes. Visit our respectourwaters.org to learn what you can do to prevent water pollution. So following that horse collar tackle on the touchdown, Martin Luther will kick off from the Racine Lutheran 45-yard line. And Thomas Moore with the return, and a little trouble picking it up, but gets it across the 20-yard line. So still plenty of football left here, just over 11 minutes to go, but Martin Luther now with a 5-point lead.
And the thing you want to point out about Crowley-Reed's interception, and most importantly, it stopped Racine Lutheran, who was really on a drive.
Well, regroup here for the Crusaders. Tenor is back out there. And coming around the near side with it. Tenor fights his way across the 30, out near the 34-yard line. And a gain of 11. And a Bryant and Stratton College Athletic first down here in the fourth quarter. New quarterback in there now for Racine Lutheran, Colton Kraus. He's under pressure, will heave it out, and completes the pass here on the near side. Coming away with it is Elijah Solis. Solis breaking tackles, and finally brought down by Blasey and by Kulinski. Brad Kulinski able to make the play, but new quarterback in there, and they're able to get the ball downfield. Looked like his arm was hit as he delivered that football and still got it away.
Yeah, Petey Campbell almost got to him that time. Can't quite see if Josh Hess is on the sideline with an injury or whether they just wanted to make a change.
They'll fake the jet sweep. Kraus will keep it. Fights his way forward down to about the 17-yard line. Pickup of about 3 on the play. .58", 150, a junior Colton Kraus. Goes both ways here. He's outside linebacker on defense.
Yeah, he earned honorable mention all-conference honors last year at that outside linebacker position.
We saw that Hess shaken up a couple of times tonight. His Tenor now trying to get the edge here on the near side. Has the cutback move, but Spartan defense wise to that. Takes him down near the 10-yard line. And it was Darius Crowley-Reed now with 13 tackles. Pass defended and 1 interception tonight, and that's on the defensive side. Not talking about his offensive stats.
Yeah, you're seeing two almost mirror images of one another here with Tyler Tenor and Darius Crowley-Reed. Both playing both ways, both hard runners, don't want to go down.
Looks like they're going to ask for a measurement here. So they'll bring the sticks in all the way across the field. Give both teams here a little bit of a breather because, again, they got, I think, 8 on each side here going both ways.
We don't try to guess these anymore, do we?
No. He's well short. About 7 links shy of a first down. Use the change to spot the ball here in the near hash. It'll bring up 3rd and inches here for Racine Lutheran. You get it just inside the 10-yard line for the first down. Plays being delayed while they get the chains reset. Very entertaining game tonight. St. Lutheran coming back, scoring 14 unanswered to take a halftime lead. Martin Luther capitalizing on an interception. 70-yard run by Darius Crawley-Reed to retake the lead here in the 4th. Kraus will give it to Tenner. Tenner breaks a tackle. Tenner to the end zone. Touchdown, Racine Lutheran. 4 touchdowns tonight for junior Tyler Tenner. And the Crusaders back up by 1. Tenner just makes a miss, takes it over the right side. His 4th rushing touchdown tonight.
And one of Coach Hoppert's points on keys to winning the game was we must tackle the excellent running backs from Racine Lutheran.
They will attempt a 2-point conversion here. Kraus wanted to throw, and it was knocked down. Petey Campbell using that nice 6'4" vertical frame to bat that one away, and the 2-point conversion is no good. But Crusaders up by 1 now, 26-25, with just over 9 minutes to play.
All right, and you can see watching Petey Campbell play goes both ways. Why they love him in basketball. I guess he's a tremendous rebounder. And Coach McGivern said no one likes to go underneath with Petey.
Displays that athleticism on that play. So we got ourselves a ball game here in this 4th quarter. Last team with the football may win this game tonight.
Right. And I think a lot of people, they look, geez, Racine Lutheran, small school, Greendale Martin Luther. I hope that folks watching the game are able to appreciate the talent as well as the effort these young men are putting into tonight's game.
Again, the majority of the players that you see out there going both ways, so they're not just going out, one, 2 platoon style football here. It's 1-on-1. They're 8-9 guys going both ways on either side of the line of scrimmage for both teams.
And they're playing special teams as well.
Yes. Well, they'll drop Darius back deep here to receive. Crawley-Reed, what a night tonight. My goodness. Over 100 yards rushing. A couple of touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, we're short our
Yeah.
Our statistician on offense, Tom Swiddle, his son plays up at Michigan Tech, so he went up to get ready for his son's first game of the season. And math is yet another subject you and I didn't excel in, so they can't expect us to try to keep track of all this.
Can't explain how my daughter's going to be a math teacher.
Well, there are no math genes in the Kelly family.
That acorn, I don't know how that came to be. Falling at it at the 41-yard line, Ben Dreher. And so the Spartans in good field position here at their own 40-yard line, trailing by 1.
You can see Nick Mueller there exhorting his offensive huddle to let's get going, let's get fired up, and let's take this in for the winning score.
Darius Crawley-Reed lined up to the left of the quarterback. Mueller wants to throw. Comes back right side. Man there. Catch is made out of bounds inside the 40 at the Crusader 37-yard line. Bryce Kolinsky makes the play. Twin brother Brad Kolinsky able to come up with a nice play down to the 37-yard line. 22-yard pickup between Mueller and Kolinsky.
We've had to be impressed with how well Mueller is throwing the ball going to his left tonight.
Very well done. Another Bryant and Stratton College athletics first down here for the Spartans. And they trail now by 1. Crowley Reed going up the middle, inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. Pickup of about 4. Officially, they'll call it a 3-yard pickup. Second down, 7. It's time the lineup trips to the right side. Crowley Reed now will line up to the left of the quarterback, Mueller. He'll get the handoff. Going up the middle, Crowley Reed spinning out of a tackle. Crowley Reed near a first down before he is driven back. Close to a first down near the 27-yard line. And indeed, another Bryant and Stratton College athletic first down for Darius Crowley Reed. Just his effort tonight. Spinning out of the first level, getting up to the second and third level, consistently running the football. Single receiver to the right, trips here to the near side. Mueller under pressure. Down he goes, back at the 38-yard line. Austin Honori, senior on defense. Honori, the defensive end, able to chase Mueller all the way back to the 35-yard line. Second and 18 now for the Spartans. Clock continues to move here. 7:10 to play. Spartans trail by 1. And all the missed extra points then have come back to play here for both teams. This time it's Mueller on the fake. Gets some of that back inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Colton Kraus, 5'8" junior, going both ways at quarterback and at linebacker.
Yeah, Racine Lutheran has to look now for one of the players to step up. Got to stop this drive because we know at this point, whether it's even a fourth down situation, Martin Luther is going to be going for it.
Interesting, both the quarterback Mueller and Crowley Reed came over to get that play from their head coach, Rick Hopper. They may have to take a timeout here. The back judge was counting already, so timeout here taken by Martin Luther. Stops play with 6:12 remaining. Scott Smith, head coach for Racine Lutheran, talking to his troops, also the defensive coordinator for his team. We touched on it a little bit in the pregame. They've got a little bit of a gauntlet here in the conference here. They've got St. Catherine's next week, then a game against Kenosha St. Joe, and then Shoreland Lutheran on the docket after that.
And that was one of Coach Smith's concerns. They're coming off that big victory a week ago, city rival. But then, you've got the 2 games coming up against 2 teams who look to be, amongst the favorites in the league. And Greendale Martin Luther, was predicted to do well. And even though they got off to this 0-2 start, Coach Smith did not want his team to, somehow start looking ahead. You got to focus on not just tonight, but each individual play.
Again, in this series, the Spartans have won 6 of the last 9 meetings. Racine Lutheran winning the contest last year down at Horlick Field in Racine. Big third down here for the Spartans. 3rd and 13 from the Crusader 29-yard line. Crowley Reed to the right of Mueller, the quarterback. Fake the handoff. Now under pressure, Mueller got to come to the near sideline. Tries to throw back over the middle. Dangerous pass and a catch is made close to a first down. Somehow coming up with that catch was Bryce Kulinski. The Cardinals sin, running to your left and then trying to throw the ball back over the middle, and Spartans got away with it.
Got away with it. Not a picture-perfect pass, but when you look in the statistics, it still is a completion.
It'll be third and short, or is it going to be a first down here? Yeah, it is a first down. Big play there. Might be one of our nominees for a play of the game here.
Right.
We'll have to find out. Keeps the drive alive here for the Spartans. 1st and 10. Darius Crowley-Reed trying to get the right side. Breaks a tackle. Spins out of another one. Gets it down inside the 15-yard line. Crowley-Reed putting on a show here tonight, both sides of the football. It was his interception to end the third quarter that set up his 70-yard touchdown run to begin the fourth quarter. Gave Martin Luther a brief 5-point lead. Unofficially now 18 carries, 204 yards tonight. And that's on the defensive, not counting the defensive side. Young man's got, 12, 13 tackles tonight, plus an interception. On 2nd down, Darius Crowley-Reed to the end zone. Touchdown, Martin Luther. Darius Crowley-Reed punches it in. The Spartans regain the lead, 31-26. $215 yards and a couple of touchdowns tonight for Darius Crowley-Reed.
I've had to take off my shoes and socks so I can try to count up these math totals here, working out this yardage. So
again, they will go for 2 here. Trying to put them up by 7. Again, they'll go 3 wide to the right. Darius Crowley-Reed, the single back in the backfield. They'll fake the handoff, wants to throw, comes back, and a dangerous pass there. Hit the receiver in a bad spot, right in the hands. As it goes off a Blasey incomplete, we'll break. 4:51 to play, 31-26, Greendale Martin Luther. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24. $13-yard touchdown run, his 4th of the ball game for Darius Crowley-Reed. 31-26, Greendale Martin Luther Spartans on top of Racine Lutheran tonight. An exciting U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights football game. Got to tell you, probably better than that other NFL game that was going on tonight.
there are more of those starters playing for tonight, yes, for sure. That
is for sure. And they'll go for the low kickoff. Ball still loose. Racine Lutheran comes away with it.
Well, the kicking game has been something that has been a little less than desired for both teams, and you're setting Racine Lutheran up with a short field here, so have to see how this will play out.
So you've just rushed for over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns tonight. Now you're back out on defense here to try and make some plays here. I'll see what happens. Colton Kraus remains at quarterback here, coming in here in the fourth quarter, hands it off to Tenor. Tenor nowhere to go. Good wrap up that time by the defense. Dax Rodriguez got to be pleased there. Able to get in there and make the play. Once again, who else? Darius Crowley-Reed.
You know, some guys go into YouTube and put up a highlight tape of a play. Tonight, Darius could put up a highlight of the game.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. They'll try that jet sweep again. Tenner dancing around. Now dives forward just short of midfield, gets a couple. Number 3, Darius Crawley-Reed, once again in on the stop. That's what, 15 tackles tonight? They go quickly here on 3rd and 7. Kraus going to heave it down the middle of the field. Man wide open, makes the catch at the 20. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Bruce Cozy on the touchdown reception. And it'll go as a 50-yard strike, and Racine Lutheran regains the lead, 32-31.
You know, Colton Kraus has come in here at quarterback and done an excellent job filling in.
They fake that jet sweep package, and he just heaves it right down the field. Lazy somehow lost track of his receiver there, and Bruce Cozy, and Cozy able to dance into the end zone. And again, they're going to try for 2. Kraus will pitch it out to Tenner. Tenner to the pylon and the 2-point conversion. 34-31 now in favor of Racine Lutheran with just over 3.5 minutes to go. This very well may come down to who has the football last here in this 4th quarter. One more look at the 2-point conversion.
And, you know, Tenner performing his role for Racine. He's got 4 touchdowns tonight, 2-point conversion there. And he's also playing both ways.
Well, if you're Coach Smith, how do you handle this kickoff now, knowing you've got a 3-point lead? Everything's been trying to kick it short, trying to keep it away from Crawley-Reed back there, who is your kick returner.
Yeah, and once again, you know, that kickoff that only, you know, went just past the 50, you gave them a short field. I think that's something Racine Lutheran's going to have to, you know, look back on and say, okay, do we want to make that same kind of a mistake?
54-yard drive and capped off by that 50-yard touchdown pass. Voss will try and kick this one. He's been purposely kicking them short here. Let's see what he does here. Again, he'll just Squipgate. It bounced off a Greendale defender, and it bounces right back into the hands of Racine Lutheran. Well, that's what happens when you kick it short. You're not ready. It was a line drive off the front line and went the mandatory distance, and Racine Lutheran gets it back now with 3:34 to play, up by 3.
Yeah, Martin Luther is going to have to think carefully of how they want to use their timeouts in here at the end of the game.
Watch it again here. Right off the ankle, right off the shin of the up man. I believe that was Austin Williams on special teams, as Tenner now takes it down to the 40-yard line of the Spartans. Should have a gain of 11 and a first down here for Racine Lutheran. Now, we saw this same situation 2 weeks ago as Greendale had a lead with less than 3 minutes and scored a touchdown. Really didn't need to. If they just ran out the clock here and forced the Spartans to take some timeouts here, they could conceivably run out the clock. Colton Kraus in place of Josh Hess. Hess tried to shake off a couple of injuries tonight and make it a go here in the second half, as Tenner now on the left side stays in bounds. Gain of about 5, maybe 6 on the play for Tenner. Smart play there, going down We need to take that across the boundary and let that clock roll.
Yeah, that 5-yard gain, though, keeps, moving the ball along. Clock still running. Racine's going to be in no hurry to snap this ball. Be watching.
Watching that back judge. Yeah, that back judge will count it down when it gets to 10. Kraus will hand it off. Tenner trying to fight his way forward, close to a first down. Down to about the 31-yard line. Looks like he's going to be short of the first down. Under 2 minutes to play. Well, this will be could be the play of the game here to cement it here for Racine Lutheran. They get a first down here and force the Spartans to burn their final 2 timeouts. 3rd and inches here for Racine Lutheran. And movement up front. A little anxious. Dakota Dexter on that right side for Racine Lutheran, the right tackle.
There's the reason why coaches get gray hairs prematurely.
False start penalty. So now, 3rd and 6. Colton Kraus set to take the snap. Low snap. He's going to run with it, and Kraus is going to get the first down. Snap rolled back to the quarterback, and he was able to pick up the first down. Petey Campbell will be credited with the tackle, but damage has been done.
Yeah, young Mr. Kraus didn't panic with that low snap, picked it up, got the first down.
And they'll wait to get the chains reset, and then they'll wind the clock down, and now the Spartans will take, Spartans will take the timeout. I thought he was going to signal Racine Lutheran taking a timeout. I don't think so. Spartans take their second timeout. They have 1 remaining with 1:24 to go. Well, it's the show featuring 2 adults, 1 kid, and no grown-ups. Don't miss 2.5 Men weeknights at 5 and again at 5:30 on Milwaukee's My 24. Exciting ball game tonight. Came down to the final possession.
And the kicking game has had a major impact on both teams in terms of missed extra points, field goals that have gone, kickoffs that have gone awry. So both teams are going to want to come back and work on that as get preparation for next week's game.
Yeah, Racine Lutheran takes on St. Catherine next week. First and 10 now for the Crusaders. They'll toss it to Tenner. Tenner just looking to stay in bounds, cover up that football. And the Spartans will take their final timeout with 1:15 to play. So now Martin Luther out of timeouts. Crusaders will be facing 2nd down and long here. But this is life in the Metro Classic. This is how these teams play it out. Against smaller schools, smaller squads, and players going both ways. When they come home at the end of the game, they are exhausted.
Right, and both teams tonight have put forth a tremendous effort. That's one of the things football, someone is trying very hard to stop you from doing what you want to do every play.
Second down, we'll call it 10. Coming around the right side is Cozy. Cozy, smart enough to stay in bounds as he goes down inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line. Stays in bounds. The clock is stopped here while they get the chains reset, but that is your ball game right there.
All you have to do is take a knee and.
That's exactly, if you read the lips of
Coach
Smith, all you need to do is take a knee. Spartans again out of timeouts. Boy, tough call. Player of our game tonight.
Oh.
I mean, you can make arguments for Tenor on Racine Lutheran, certainly, for winning the game tonight, but can't ignore the effort by Darius Crawley-Reed for Greendale Martin Luther tonight on both sides of the ball.
Each of these guys has played their heart out tonight.
Crusaders in victory formation here as they will take a knee. And the Crusaders are going to get to 3-0. 1-0 in conference. Greendale Martin Luther going to fall to 0-3, 0-1 in conference, but not without giving a battle here tonight.
Oh, yeah, they came out, played extremely hard. Deserved a better fate in some ways. But Racine Lutheran, you can't ignore how they came back. They answered the challenge.
And the kick off the touchdown and the kickoff, and unfortunate bounce for the Spartans leads to the recovery for the Crusaders, and they're able to cement this one away here tonight. So the Crusaders go to 3-0 with the win here tonight on the road. Your final tonight from Greendale Martin Luther. Racine Lutheran 34, Greendale Martin Luther 31. Back with our post game after this. (34-31), Racine Lutheran over Greendale Martin Luther tonight. The Crusaders now at 3-0 on the season, 1-0 in Metro Classic Conference play. Meanwhile, the Spartans fall to 0-3, 0-1 in conference play. An exciting ball game came right down to the final minute here, and boy, I tell you what, give hats off to both teams here for a hard-fought game on both sides.
Fans got their money's worth tonight.
Let's head down to Mike McGivern.
Hey, we're here with the U.S. Army player of the game, Tyler Tenor. Man, that was a heck of a game. Boys, thank you very much for your performance. You got to be tired, man. You did a nice job tonight.
Yeah, it was tiring. We keep running them plays, but we stayed strong, and that's how we got the win.
Anybody back here you want to thank?
I want to thank all my offensive line, all my blockers. Yeah. And most of all the glory goes to God.
Amen to that, brother. Hey, Sergeant Williams, he's a heck of a player. You walked over and said, we got number 5, right? I said, yes, sir.
Congratulations on behalf of a wonderful game. Thank you. I'd like to say congratulations and what a good job.
Hey, Army strong right there. Back to you, boys.
Mike, thank you. Our Player of the Game award to Tyler Tenor, the 5'6", 160-pound junior. 4 touchdowns tonight and a 2-point conversion, and here they are. First one got them on the board tonight. And again, second touchdown tonight. That one right there.
Yeah, he looked like he was bottled up and just kept fighting away.
And the toss here, coming back at you right to the near side. Able to shift gears and make his way into the end zone 4 different times tonight. And then the 2-point conversion here to give his team the 3-point lead late. This is touchdown number 4 right here. And here's the 2-point conversion to put them out in front for good tonight. Tyler Tenor, our U.S. Army Player of the Game, brought to you all season long by the U.S. Army. Army strong. Let's go back downstairs to Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I'm here with Scott Smith, head coach. I said, Coach, pick an offensive lineman, hold the ball. He said, I got 5-6 guys I'd like to hold that thing today. Scott, that was a heck of a game. Congratulations, good win.
Thank you. It could have went either way, but I give the credit to our kids, and our backup quarterback came in, made a couple nice throws, and this team doesn't quit. I have so much hope for them this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Who's this?
This is little Hollister. This is the quarterback's little brother.
Hollister, say hello.
Say hello.
Hi.
Atta boy. Hey, we're also here with Dakota. Dakota, heck of a game today, guys. Put it all on the line. You a senior?
Yes, sir.
Hey, great way to start the year, 3-0. Good luck next week against St. Catherine's the rest of the year, boys. Well done.
Thank you.
You bet. Good job, fellas.
Trophy presentation. We'll be back with more after this on My 24. Barn burner tonight, week 3 of our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presentation here on My 24. Racine Lutheran comes back to win 34-31. Time now for tonight's play of the game, brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. That came on the ensuing kickoff following the go-ahead score. And it was recovered by Racine Lutheran. It deflected off the front line of Martin Luther, and Racine Lutheran recovered. They were able to run out the clock and win the ball game by 3, our play of the game. 34-31, your final tonight. Week 4 of the 2017 season features Germantown at Waukesha West. That'll be next week, Thursday, starting at 6:30. That's with our Window Depot of Milwaukee pregame show, and it'll be followed by kickoff at 7. And don't forget, tonight's game will be rebroadcast Sunday night at 7 right here on My 24. Next week, Germantown, Waukesha West, a great crossover matchup next week in week 4. My thanks to Eric Murray, back with us as our spotter tonight, for Terry Kelly, and for Mike McGivern and Kara, John Pearson in our pregame. I'm John Weiser, and our entire My 24 crew saying good night from Greendale. Your final, Racine Lutheran over Martin Luther, 34-31.
U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24, is brought to you by U.S. Cellular, in the middle of anywhere. Northwest Surgery Center, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Menards, and by the Big 920. Additional support has been provided by the U.S. Army, Goodwill, Salvation Army, Sweetwater, Gruber Law Offices, and Bryant and Stratton College Athletics.